All right. Ready? You gonna narrate, Underhill?
I don't know, should I?
No.
Is the hard choice for the... No, it's okay. Jonah said no. Jonah is the deciding factor of the classroom.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Today we are solving equations with radicals. So, this is actually really easy. You guys tell me, what is the opposite of square rooting something? Squaring. So, as with everything in algebra, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So if we square one side, we have to square the other. Squared and square root cancel each other out over here. X equals, what is 3 squared? 9. Okay, now you want to go back and check this, because with these types of problems, we have what are called apparent solutions. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys do a mental check in your head, and I think you'll probably find a pattern really quickly here, but you're taking this 9 and or whatever you get for your solution, plugging it back in for x and making sure that it actually works. So is the square root of 9 3?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so that is our solution. Now, if we do the same thing in this next problem, the square root of x equals -3, how do we solve this one? With the same, we square both sides. Squared and square root cancel each other out, and we have x equals what? 9 again. Okay. If we check it, let's move it up so you all can see it. If we check it, oh, for the love. Okay. The square root of 9, we want to see, does that equal -3?
No.
No. Okay, so that means, we're going to put this symbol. That means that there is no solution to this problem. This is what's called an apparent solution, because we went through the proper steps to solve the problem, but when we plugged it back in, it didn't actually work. Okay? So this one is a no solution. Now, so you'll see there's really a way that you can tell whether it's going to be whether it's going to have a solution or not. Does anyone want to take a guess at what that is? Akashni? If you have the square root on one side and equals a negative number on the right. It's kind of like the absolute value ones, where the absolute value equals a negative number. Can't work. Same thing here. Okay, that's pretty much what we're getting practice with, but we have some that are a little bit more intense, so let's go through those. Okay, what do we do? Again, square it. Good. Did someone just have a cough drop? It's very strong. It's really strong. Okay, so we end up with 3x plus 6 equals 81. All right, and then how do we go about solving this for x? Do what?
Isolate.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Stacy?
6.
Mm-hmm. And when we this, good. And then last step. Divide by 3. Everybody give it up for Stacy. Okay, I'm going to let you guys check in your head, but I just want to show you, just make sure you plug it back into the original one. So 3 times 25 plus 6, does that equal 9? And if we do it in our head, 75 plus 6 is 81. The square root of 81 is 9, so that is a solution, okay? Do you guys want to see those checks from this point on, or are you good? You're good. Okay, that's good. All right, now is where it gets really fun. So, we have 2 square roots in this next problem, and maybe for the rest of them, I can't remember. Here's how you want to approach this type of problem. The goal should be to get an even number of radicals on each side of the equal sign, meaning if you have 2 radicals in your equation, try to balance it as much as possible in terms of the radicals, meaning put one on the left and one on the right, as much as you possibly can. So in this one, we're going to add root 8x plus 16 to both sides so that we balance it in terms of radicals. So we get root 10x plus 4 equals root 8x plus 16. And now that's pretty much as balanced as it's going to get in terms of the radicals, so we follow the same set of steps. The opposite of square root is what again? Squaring. So they cancel out. If you did not move one of those radicals to the other side, what would have happened is you would have had to FOIL out this whole mess, because you would have been squaring that whole thing. You might end up having to do that anyway on some of these problems, but if you can avoid it, you probably want to. Okay. So now what? Now we're back to basic algebra 1 stuff. How do I get x by itself? Megan. Good. So, give me one. There's like 4 options here. Pick one of them. Okay, good. So if we subtract 8x from both sides, we get 2x plus 4 equals 16. Everybody give it up for Megan. Then what? Someone else tell me what we do next. Ashley. Good. Okay, so we get 2x equals 12, and then last... Go ahead. No, last up. Ashley?
Okay, divide by 2.
Good. Everybody give it up for Ashley. Okay, so then you would want to go back and do a check on this. If we did a check, it would work out just fine. Okay? All right, how are we doing on questions? Okay. We have a few more. Okay. The cubic root of y plus 4 equals 3. Okay, so up until now we've been dealing with square roots. So the opposite of square rooting is squaring. Opposite of cube rooting is cubing. So we cube both sides. Those cancel out. So we have y plus 4 equals 27. And then what? Subtract 4, good. So y equals 23. Now, can you have equals to a negative number when you're taking a cubic root?
Yes.
We can't when you have a square root. What about a cubic root? That's good. A negative times a negative times a negative is another negative. So it can work when you are dealing with odd level roots. Okay? Okay, here we go. Second to last problem. We have one square root in this problem, so there's not really much we can do in terms of balancing. So now that we're as balanced as we're going to get, anyone has a suggestion about what we can do? I think I can talk. Oh, good. Let's take a pause for a second so we can... All right, everybody think about what we do in this problem, and we will be right back. Okay, so, Kendra, did you have your hand up? Oh, okay. Anyone have any ideas? Marcy?
Like, maybe we could try and make it where it's...
Okay, Jade?
Square it.
Good, you square both sides. Good, everybody give it up for Jade. Okay, on the right-hand side, so they cancel out on the left, but on the right-hand side, what we end up with is x plus 1 squared, which is the same thing as x plus 1 times x plus 1, which means we get to do what? FOIL. Or, if we remember the pattern of perfect square trinomials, it's x squared plus 2x plus 1. But foiling is also another way of going. What? Okay. If you FOIL it out, you'll get x squared plus x, and if you combine those, you get 2x plus 1. Okay, now what? If we want to solve this for x, what would we do? Go ahead, Jade.
You would subtract x squared from
Uh-huh.
the side.
Good.
And it'll cancel out.
Good.
And then I would subtract 1.
Good.
And so you have 2 equals 2x divided by 2, and then x equals 1.
Excellent. Everybody give it up for Jade. Nicely done. Oh, hi. Okay. We're going to pause one more time.
Okay. Dupe. That's some bread. Un baguette. That's a baguette. Un tart of poms. That's apple tart. That's just wheat bread. I don't like saying it. I hope you know what that is.
It's hard to see. You have to move it up to the camera a little bit. Oh, that's really far. That's better. Okay.
Is the commercial over yet?
Are we done?
Yes, we're done.
Goodbye.
Everybody, give a round of applause to our French tutor for today. Okay. Here we go. Last problem. You all are going to love this problem. Note the sarcasm there. Okay, here we go. So remember what I said in the beginning, you want to balance as much as possible. So is it balanced? If our equal sign is right here, we have 2 radicals on the left and none on the right. So what do? Subtract. Good. Let's subtract one of the radicals. Doesn't matter which.
No.
Good. Does not matter which. So we have root z plus 4 equals 4 minus root z minus 4. Now that is, yes, that's why I said you're going to love this problem. Now that it's as balanced as it's going to be, we're going to square both sides. Those cancel out, and on the right-hand side, we have 4 minus root z minus 4 times 4 minus root z minus 4. How do we multiply a binomial by a binomial again? That's a FOIL problem. So, we are about to do it. You'll see. Okay, here we go. I'm going to actually organize this one a little bit better so that you all have some idea what's going on. FOIL. Okay, if you are working on your homework already, fantastic. Zip it. Okay. So, when we do the first ones, 4 times 4 is 16. The outer ones, we have 4 times negative root z minus 4. That is negative 4 root z minus 4. When you do the inner ones, you again have 4 times negative root z minus 4, which is another negative 4 root z minus 4. And the last one's negative root z minus 4 times negative root z minus 4 is positive root z minus 4 squared. And squared and square root do what again? What do squared? That's good, they cancel out. Okay, so here's where we are. If we go through and combine these like terms, we have z plus 4 equals 16 minus 8 root z minus 4 plus z minus 4, because again, the squared and square root canceled each other out at the very end. Now from here, it's a whole lot easier. It's kind of long, I get it, but it's a lot easier. Okay, now what? What do we do next? We have many options. Can somebody tell me one of them? Yeah, Rachel. Okay, good. So she's saying combine like terms. Everybody give it up for Rachel. Z plus 4 equals 12 minus 8 root z minus 4 plus z. Good. Okay. Anybody notice anything about the z's that we have left and what would happen if we subtracted z from both sides? Good. Let's do that. Cancel, cancel. Let's at the same time subtract 12 from both sides. Multiple things at a time. Negative 8 equals negative 8 root z minus 4. Okay? Yeah, Kendra. Okay, it's negative 8 times. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Divide. So divide by negative 8. So we get 1 equals root z minus 4. Okay, last step. Or second to last step. Whoop. Good, we have to square again. Squared, squared. They cancel out here, so we get 1 equals z minus 4, and the last step is add 4, and we get z equals 5. Okay, so again, you want to go back and double check by plugging it in. I will tell you it does work out just fine. Yes? Yeah, I'll do number 30 on the board. Okay, are there other questions on this? Okay, so you guys have a homework assignment. Everybody go ahead and get going on that.